Okay, so we're going to do a little drywall sanding today. Just purchased this Wind drywall sander. I want to do a little review on it. I'm actually going to use it before we do the final review. It comes with two heads. One's a circular head that rotates like so, and the other one is a triangular head, which I currently have installed on the drywall sander. It vibrates back and forth. You know, it's good for corners and that kind of thing. It's probably a good idea just to use your circular one on the walls, and whenever you get into the corners, use that vibrating corner head, because it's easier to operate in the corners anyway. So you kill two birds with one stone there. You don't have to go over the work twice. Also purchased a rigid 16-gallon wet and dry vac. It comes with a leaf blower attached to it there, which you can take off and obviously use as a leaf blower. I've also got a HEPA filter installed in it, and make sure if you use a wet and dry vac to use the bag, because it blocks a lot of the drywall dust from getting in the filter. If you clog that filter up, you could do some damage to the motor, that kind of thing, because it'll end up overheating. That's what happened to my shop vac brand. It was a 5.5 horsepower shop vac, and this one's 6.5 horsepower, so it'll do a lot better cleaning up and everything as well. So that's why I purchased that. All right, anyway, we're going to go ahead and get to doing some sanding, and then I'll do a final review at the end. Okay, so before we actually do the drywall sanding, we need to change our head to a circular head so we can do the walls. And then we'll convert back over to the corner head once we get done with the walls and the ceilings, obviously. And then we'll work on the corners with this. So this is how you change this over. Simply, there's a little thing there. It looks like it has a flathead screw on it. It has like a spring tension to it. All you got to do is pull it up, slide it over, and then you can take your head off. And this one here, same deal, it's just in reverse. Just want to make sure that this thing here is lined up with the one on the inside. It's like kind of like a cog system going on there. Just want to make sure that you got that lined up. And then everything else will pretty well go on pretty evenly. You might have to do some kind of minor adjusting there. Then you just pull your pin out, slide it back over into the lock position, head's on there. So we'll go ahead and get the drywall sanded, and we'll let you know how this thing operates. Alright, it's now time to change the sandpaper. This is on the circular head. It's pretty simple to change the sandpaper. It's actually a Velcro type of deal. All you gotta do is line the holes up with the holes that are in the Velcro. Just like so. And just make sure it's stuck on there pretty good. Also, while we're on the subject of sandpaper, typically I just use 120 grit. It tends to be coarse enough to knock off a lot, not extremely vigorously. That way you get into the tape, like I did over here with another drywall sander I was using. At the end, I'm going to compare this wind sander to a drywall sander, which is called the Giraffe. I've used it. It's a more expensive drywall sander, but I'll do the comparison at the end. Stick with me. Alright, so in conclusion, the wind drywall sander works fairly well. It's a little heavier than the Giraffe, and it's also got probably about half the power roughly as the Giraffe. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing though, because when it comes to sanding drywall mud, you don't want to get in, into the tape. 120 grit's usually what I end up using with the Giraffe and with this. The Giraffe new is going to cost probably about 550 bucks. It does not come with a separate head. The wind drywall sander with the dual heads is about 170 bucks. Brand new. Now without the second head, it's about 110 or so, right around, depending on if you get it from Home Depot, because they're obviously going to have some type of commission there, or if you get it directly from Wind. If you get it directly from the company, it's a little cheaper. Now the second head, the triangular head, I did not care for. It vibrates. If it would go around in circles, maybe it might work a little better. I'm not sure. I think I would prefer just to use the round head. It gets in pretty close to the corners, and you'll have to come back and finalize it with a sponge sander or something. That's typical anyway. If you're using a Giraffe, you're going to end up doing that. So I think the wind drywall sander is cheap. It's also efficient. In conjunction with the rigid wet dry vac, it tends to work out pretty well. Didn't have any holdups with the wet dry vac. If you want to spend a little extra money, probably another 200 bucks, you can actually get a drywall vacuum. And what it does is it reverses the flow every now and then to clean the filter out. So yeah, I mean, if I was really anyone, professional or not, I would get a wind drywall sander just to save the money. It might be a little bit slower. It depends on how quick you work the walls and that kind of thing with the Giraffe. But this thing here, I think it's just fine. But I definitely would not get the one with the dual heads, because the second head I don't like at all. So that is my review on the wind drywall sander. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos.